It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Welcome to another Monday morning football with the Guru, and this is going to be championship game edition. So we're going to move first to the NFC, the first game of Sunday. Great weekend of football. So let's talk about the 49ers taking on the Eagles. And I'm going to focus on the Eagles aspect of things on this first segment, okay? So I'm very impressed as far as the Eagles. The Eagles did what the Eagles do. They dominated as far as their running game. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts played well enough to win this game. In certain games, you just could tell the feel of the game and the way the game was started that Jalen Hurts didn't have to really do much. The only thing Jalen had to do was don't turn the ball over, which he accomplished, man. I'm really impressed. You know, I should not be impressed, but I'm really impressed as far as the Eagles' rushing attack, man. You had Jalen Hurts with 11 rushing attempts. You had Miles Sanders with 11 rushing attempts. You had Kenny Gainwell with 14 rushing attempts. They were evenly balanced, so Jalen Hurts really didn't necessarily have to pass the ball heavily like that. So I really like the Eagles' game plan. They came in and they attacked the so-called 49ers defense. So when he looks at the end of the day, the Eagles offensive line dominated once again. I believe when you put on the films, you're going to see how those five guys, the Kells led by Jason Kelce, with Dickinson, with Lane Johnson and company, those guys led the Eagles as far as getting them to the Super Bowl. So I believe Nick Sirianni did an outstanding job. The offensive line did exactly what the offensive line did all season long, which is dominate and just wear you out. By the third, fourth quarter, the 49ers was worn out defensively, and that's exactly what happened in this game. So I didn't necessarily think Jalen Hurts had an impressive game, but Jalen Hurts didn't need it to be impressive in this for the Eagles to win this game. Jalen Hurts just had to make his plays and make sure he didn't turn the ball over, because obviously the way the Eagles defense and the Eagles defensive line was attacking the 49ers offense with numerous quarterback injury, the only thing Jalen Hurts had to do, he didn't have to be Superman. The only thing he had to do was just play a simple game, which he did, and which is the reason why the Eagles are moving on to the Super Bowl. So anyways, let's move on to the last game of this Sunday between the Bengals and the Chiefs. So we all know the whole talk this whole week between the Bengals players, calling it Burrowhead and Patrick Mahomes as far as his high ankle sprain. So this was an impressive game. Best game of those out of those two games, obviously. So what my take on this was simple, man. Patrick Mahomes is an animal. Patrick Mahomes is from another planet, man. This guy was playing with a bad ankle, and that last initial play, when it came down to the gritty, because we're going to come all the way down to the last drive. When he came down to that gritty, he needed a play. Even he had a busted ankle, but Patrick Mahomes still found his way to scramble, adrenaline going, and got that first down on third and I believe 5 or so. And obviously they add on the 15-yard personal foul with the late hit. So Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, was Patrick Mahomes. When you needed him to make a play, if you have a receiver, you got injuries from the whole entire receiving corps. All three receivers was injured. Travis Kelce was held in check, and Patrick Mahomes, when the game needed to be played, when the clutch time of the game, and he was super clutch, man. And that was the main reason, man. Patrick Mahomes is just a different guy. He's in another level. He's the best football player as far as quarterback position in the game, in my opinion. And Joe Burrow and those guys played a hell of a game, but at the end of the day, it was Mahomes' house. So let me get back to, before I finish it up, man, I want to get back to the Eagles because that was just a dominant game, and I want to focus on the defense of the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, the whole talk going into this game was the 49ers defense, or the number one defense in football, blase. I felt like the Eagles were kind of disrespected because I thought versatility-wise, the Eagles were also outstanding on all levels, from the defensive line level, which we obviously know that led the league in sacks and pressures, all right? And then you have the linebackers who were fast and very underrated with TJ Edwards and Tre'Davious White and company. So I think those guys are very underrated. They're very good coverage linebackers, and obviously the secondary with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Bradbury and Slay. So in all three levels. I believe the defense of the Philadelphia Eagles was as good, if not better, than San Francisco 49ers, and I thought they really showcased that, man. Haason Reddick was unblockable. Unblockable in this performance, as he has a couple of sacks, fumble recovery. He totally dominated this game, and he caused the injury to Brock Purdy as far as his throwing arm. So I really felt we sold the Eagles defense short, especially the defensive line. They have an all Pro Bowl in every level, obviously on defense, on the defensive side of the ball. So I really enjoyed watching the Eagles showcase the defensive scheme and basically showcase that on the field this Sunday, they were the best defensive team in all of football, man. So once again, appreciate y'all listening to the NFL Championship Game edition of Monday Morning Football with the Guru. You all know the drill, man. Like this, love this, share this, and I am out. It's the G to the U to the R to the U.